The Portraits of Honor started back in 2008 when I read the newspaper that said we had lost 100 of our troops in Afghanistan. That day it had those 100 faces on the front of the newspaper, and it was pretty powerful. Being an artist myself for many years, about 38 years, but I was an airbrush artist, what you see on the coach behind me or in front of me there. And but I decided I'd do it in oils because it will last forever. And so I had this one canvas specially made for me, 10 feet high by 50 feet long, and started painting. And as I started, first thing I realized was it takes a lot longer to do an oil painting than an airbrush painting. It actually takes me about 70 hours for each one of those faces behind me. But it's worth every minute of it.
If a mother doesn't like the picture, he repaints and repaints, and he'll do things until it's good. And I think it's a lot of time and effort and for somebody to do, and I appreciate it.
It took me 3 years, a little over 7,000 hours now I've got into the painting. And last year I took it on tour for 7 months with the help of the Kinsmen across the country. I wanted to visit all the hometowns and show the families and kind of reassure them that their children won't be forgotten. And it certainly worked that way because I got a lot of compliments, a lot of hugs, a lot of tears from the families. And so
my son was Corporal Robert Thomas James Mitchell, and he died in 2006. He was killed in 2006. Yeah, so, but this is a really great tribute. And you know all of the petals and are all of the soldiers that have died in all the wars. Like he wanted to represent other things as well.
So I felt it was a very important tour, and since I've been home, I got home after 7 months in December 10th. Took a week off, and the next thing I know, I'm back on tour with my copy of the painting, speaking to leadership, Rotaries, you name it, and things like this. But today I was very thankful that I could take the original out for this venue here in Oakville. It's pretty amazing what the Medicare people have done for our veterans. They have about 800 veterans here today, and it's just overwhelming when you look at it. It's an amazing job. And we had these venues all across the country. And like I say, since I've been home, this is my 48th venue. So pretty proud of it and pretty proud of keeping it going.
And you, by trade, are a professional painter?
I was a professional airbrush artist.
Airbrush artist.
Vans, cars, motor coaches like you see here, tractor trailers, big city wall murals for our veterans. Most of the hospitals have my murals that have veterans. So that was my trade for almost 40 years before I started this. Next year, the painting will, right now I'm doing a fundraiser, hoping that I can get the painting to Juno Beach, to our new war museum. It's actually celebrating their 10th anniversary in Juno Beach. They want me there for 6 months, painting and talking to the world, telling them how we honor our fallen and showing them how we do it. I'll have a PowerPoint presentation going all the time I'm there, showing our highway heroes, different things that other artists and people have been doing in the country, changing our Trans-Canada Highway to the Highway Heroes right across Canada. It's been all those things show respect, as we see today with all veterans. It's pretty nice to see.
And what's it like when you see families?
Meeting the families, very emotional. Very emotional. Like I say, there's some days where my shoulders are soaked with tears and hugs, and I've had moms reach over and kiss their kids on the face, tell me the stories, how they feel and everything. So it was a very emotional tour.
What happens to this when it's not on tour? Where's it stored?
It goes in my my studio, which is now like a museum. I've got all kinds of equipment in my studio, and I speak to the Rotaries, Lions, you name it, all the different service clubs I have in there, sitting down having coffee or dinner, and I speak to school kids and So it's a regular traffic coming through my studio, and that's in Cambridge, Ontario.
Well, doing all this, do you have any connection to the military yourself?
Navy, many years ago, back in the 60s. But I never look at myself as a veteran, didn't have to do anything, and I was a very proud band member, so. But supporting him, my dad was a World War II veteran. I believe he came home with post-traumatic stress disorder, or back then they called it battle fatigue or shell shock, and had a horrible life. When my mom was a war bride, came to Canada, and it was pretty sad on her, and he left when I was about 6 years of age, and never to be seen again. So, you know, I kind of do this for him, you know, and others like him. I promised the families I wouldn't let it just be sitting where it's not going to be seen. And probably when I'm all done, I'm either going to put the painting in the War Museum in Ottawa, if they can give me a spot that it will stay up, not going to be locked up in the archives. And in 2014, I plan on doing another tour across Canada. I will have the painting, but what I want to do is have all Canadians step up and show their pride. I'll be carrying the museum as well, showing all of our accomplishments in Afghanistan. All the good things, like the girls going to school and working on the Dali Dam and building schools and hospitals. You know, people don't realize that we are doing good over there. We're not just there shooting, we're there as representing Canada the way we should, and helping the people of Afghanistan.
Thank you very much for your time.